Dude, you know what's really crazy? We only have 3 weeks left of NFL action, then it all goes away for a while. But right now, we are in the thick of the NFL playoffs. Playoffs! And that brings us to SkyLounge Podcast, episode number 316. Divisional round heartaches and ref breaks, Piggyskin picks, recap, and outlooks. Hooray! Because boys and girls, we had quite the weekend of divisional round action. And, of course, with these talks, I want to always talk about the games I care about the most first, and the games I don't really give a shit about last. And if you're offended by that, go fuck yourself in your fat fucking ass. You're probably a Packers fan who had too much cheese, so a little bloated, right? Walk it off. Get some fresh air. But meanwhile, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns, because, of course, I am rocking my Shake and Bake t-shirt. And, of course, the Cleveland Browns lost to the Kansas City Chiefs 17-22 in divisional round weekend. But, ladies and gentlemen, when I see the Cleveland Browns, I am reminded of a song by the band Starship. Nothing's going to stop us now. Let them say we're crazy. Not care about that. Put your hands on my hand, baby. Don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're hard to hard. And we can build this thing together. Standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. I apologize for the shitty singing. But listen, I don't take the message away from that song and what it means to the Cleveland Browns. My, oh my. This Cleveland Browns team, even as a non-fan, has me so excited about their future and their potential. Because a lot of people will look at this Cleveland Browns loss to the Kansas City Chiefs and say, oh, look, I told you. You'll have a fucking cocksucker like Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. Baker's not the most dialed up, eloquent person. Like, he's going to do some sermon dumbass shit. Just use all the fucking hyperbole and nonsense narratives. But this loss to the Kansas City Chiefs tells me a few things about the Cleveland Browns. And I could bullet point these motherfuckers for you because I wrote them out, motherfucker. I did. That's the honest truth. And some of the major takeaways that I had from this game was that one of the major things is Kevin Stefanski cannot be a play caller. He just can't. Because for me, I think Kevin Stefanski is a culture cultivator. I think he's a macro manager. I think he's someone that would benefit from being in the Browns organization for a long time. But when it comes down to in-game decisions, micro decision things based on personnel, how he uses personnel. I mean, Jesus Christ, you didn't even use Kareem Hunt till late in the first half, which already tells you enough about the frustration that I felt personally with Stefanski. But when you look at it, where last week, you had the whole scenario with Denzel Ward, Joe Bitonio, a couple of the staff members, along with Kevin Stefanski, quarantine, not being able to be in the game against the Steelers. But it's where Alex Van Pelt, the Browns offensive coordinator, took the helm, took the play calling by the balls, really. And, I mean, they fucking handled a much, you could definitely argue, much superior defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Whereas, man, this game against the Kansas City Chiefs, especially late from this offense, was mediocre at best. Now, a lot of us will just look at this loss and immediately think, there's no way you can blame this on Stefanski. I mean, it has to go to individual pieces, right? Right? Well, kind of. But this is my other major point that I have to get to where, I do still think, Stefanski, he's a great coach. I think, again, you're a cultivator of culture. That's so important to how you build locker room chemistry. But You need to compartmentalize duties and responsibilities and maybe give the play calling to, again, Alex Van Pelt, who seems to do a much better job. But will Stefanski massage the ego a little bit to let that go? I hope so, for the benefit of the Browns. But again, talking about individual parts, yeah, we can certainly look at, things on offense that kind of went wrong, things on defense, but mainly I really do question that defense for the Cleveland Browns. And this is where my other major point comes in. Get some linebackers and defensive backs. Jesus fucking Christ. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? You can't have a less than 100% Myles Garrett just coming back from COVID protocol bullshit, Denzel Ward, and a couple of guys. Yeah, Taki had that, third or fourth interception on Ben Roethlisberger last week, but you need depth. You need a little more oomph. And linebackers, dude, I've been saying since week one that not having Joe Schobert there is a bit of a problem. You're missing that solid middle linebacker who can get you shit, who can get those dirty, grimy tackles, the things on, the defensive tape that I'm sure the experts and analysts would actually be able to notice, but for casuals like myself, they would say, oh, wow, he makes the plays that most people don't, or something like that, right? This is why, I've been on that for a while, where linebacker and safety, maybe cornerback, has been a prominent issue with the Browns since week one. And yeah, I really think it comes down to maybe perhaps flipping an asset here or two, getting more picks, getting more depth, opening up cap space. I'm looking at OBJ, although I know OBJ is a solid player in terms of talent, but I ask you, do you want the headache? Do you understand that in terms of offensive production, you've been a lot better off without him? And his value, just as a player alone, could fetch you a hefty sum of picks and depth players that you could desperately do with. But again, I think that comes down to defense and how, philosophically the Browns are going to deal with that. And I think they got a pretty good, idea of what they're doing over there with that defense, hopefully. Sheldon Richardson was actually pretty damn fine all along through the season. But yeah, definitely need more help on that defense, right? And another major point that I really want to push out here is that it's not T. Higgins' fault for trying to get into the end zone. It's the referee's fault for blatantly missing that fucking non-call that Sorensen just... In whatever fucking universe you live in, that's a targeting call. That's a helmet-to-helmet contact. You can't fucking ignore that shit. The NFL boasts and preaches about player safety, but when you blatantly miss one of the biggest fucking calls on one of the biggest games in one of the biggest weekends in football, yeah, this is where you start losing the trust of the fan base, the goodwill of the fan base, NFL. This is what you've been constantly doing, and holy shit, none more so evident when your boys and the Chiefs have to get that dub. Now, I'm not saying that, Chiefs are guaranteed for a win because of some sort of grand conspiracy that the NFL concocted for money. But it was a bullshit non-call. Let's call it for what it is, right? And I truly do believe that play alone, that non-call, changed the dynamic of the game. If not for that non-call, I think perhaps Patrick Mahomes is still healthy, not concussed, and perhaps Browns win the game. But we don't know that. But what I certainly do know is that T. Higgins is not to blame here. He's not. I had people on social media just looking through comments for whatever meme posts and what have you, trying to twist the narrative and put the blame on T. Higgins. And I'm thinking, no, man, he's doing what a wide receiver should be doing. Trying to get his team a fucking win and some points on the damn board because they're down so much in the first half. And guess what? T. Higgins, I don't know if you boys and girls know this shit, but T. Higgins, after that quote-unquote mistake by him, he had a fantastic second half. So I don't want to hear shit about T. Higgins slanders here, man. It's ridiculous. And man, it's just a brain dead fucking morons talking about, oh, there's nothing wrong with that hit. Right? That hit on Patrick Mahomes was dirty. All right, you cum guzzling fucking moron. Have fun thinking that shit. Oh yeah, while you're at it, put your head on the furnace. It keeps your head warm. Dumbass. But the last major point I want to make about the Browns is that you have a franchise quarterback in Baker Mayfield. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, man. I mean, this guy is prime time. This guy's the real deal. I've been saying this since, week 3? 2018 season when he beat the Jets on Thursday Night Football. I've been saying that since then. That Baker Mayfield is the one. He's the chosen one. He's going to do magical things over here in Cleveland. I'm not actually here in Cleveland. I'm in Las Vegas, but, in kind of a metaphorical sense. Okay. The Cleveland Browns did the right thing in that 2018 draft when they selected Baker Mayfield number 1 overall. This guy, yes, can have some valleys of lows. I mean, man, oh man, that second year was a bummer for me. Because I knew that rookie year was no fluke. I knew that rookie year Baker had the stuff. He had the juice. But year 2, he let the hubris just kind of get him. He let the stardom kind of get in his head. And he let the little bit of talk get in his head, hype himself a little bit too much. And humility is how he grew. Baker grew through humility and failure. And for him to come back in year 3 and show out the way he did, I thought it was phenomenal. I thought the way the mainstream media attacked this kid unfairly, especially this year, was unwarranted, stupid, and just blatantly toxic. And I'm not going to stand for that shit because for me, Baker Mayfield grew up. He grew the fuck up in year 3. He took responsibility. He took ownership. He understood that, hey, I'm a franchise quarterback. I am responsible for this essentially company, this warrior, this tribe. And I can't let my people down. And Baker has that fucking warrior mentality. He does. It's fucking brilliant to watch. You can sense it from him. You can sense from the other players that he has the stuff. He has that it factor. He has that general in the fucking flames of war energy where his soldiers are going to follow him through battle no matter what. I mean, you have mainstream media dumbasses like Stephen A. Smith, Colin Cowherd. I mean, you name it, man. Nick Wright, Max Kellerman, cocksucking Shannon Sharp, Marcellus Wiley, all these little bitches talking about, oh, his teammates don't like Baker. No, they're just racist pieces of shit that don't like white quarterbacks. Let's just call it for what it is. And Baker, so he's one of those guys I see in his action, in his words, in his mannerisms that he doesn't give a shit about race. He's just about, cool, I rep the Browns. I want to see them win. And who's ever on board with us, let's go. Whoever's not, fuck you. I don't care. And I love that attitude. That's what you need to have in a leader. And Browns fans, I'm telling you, you have a leader in Baker Mayfield. And he's going to do amazing things over the years. And this is where I tell, Browns fans today who are feeling the hurt, who are feeling the heartache, but keep your heads up, guys. I think this Cleveland Browns team is going to do amazing things down the line. I mean, when you watch this fan base, in the Cleveland news where they greet the Browns coming in from the airport late at night, snowing, these are some true salt of the earth people in Cleveland. These are some real ass fans who stuck through the heartbreak. They don't care if you fail. They do, of course. They have emotions. I mean, they're fucking humans, okay? But that's why I respect the hell out of Cleveland fans, man. And they love you no matter what, even if you fuck up. And it's more than family, kind of. And when you see it from an outside perspective, it's beautiful to watch. And this level of coming together, camaraderie that the Cleveland Browns brought to the fan base of Cleveland and everything, I think it's awesome. I think it's been one of the greatest things to watch this season. And I think Kevin Stefanski, Baker Mayfield, Myles Garrett and the gang, I think they're all going to elevate themselves more, get hungry after this playoff loss, and come back for next time. And so Browns fans, it's a bit of a longer segment than I had planned, but Browns fans, don't be upset. Trust me, it's going to be a lot better. It sucks right now with the loss, but I'm telling you, you guys have such a bright future ahead of you. And personally, I would love to see a Cleveland Browns versus Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl because in my eyes, I wouldn't be able to lose. I mean, yes, if the Seahawks lost, they technically, yes, lose, and yeah, that's a Super Bowl L that I'd probably just take on the chin because that's just life, right? But I really think the Browns have the potential in the near future to get to the Super Bowl and perhaps win it. So best of luck to you guys. Now, speaking of Super Bowls, the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, eke out a win by 5 points when they were 10-point favorites. Now, it's nothing to really shit on the Chiefs because, yes, Patrick Mahomes goes down with the concussion protocol, which personally I think he should be okay for Sunday, but you never know with concussions. They're fucking terrifying as shit. Fucks up your brain. That's a control center. You don't want to fuck with that too much. But hopefully Patty's okay and good to go on Sunday. But I think this game, with everything being kind of being in favored in line for the Cleveland Browns, you got to give a huge shout out to Andy Reid for not panicking, holding the line, and being able to win the game late with Chad Henne. I understand that Chad Henne didn't throw a lot of the balls and shit, but to have the poise, obviously the personnel definitely helps, but to have the poise and mental space to say, hey, we're down possibly the best quarterback in the league right now, but we can still get this thing. We can still do this, and it's really impressive. It has to give I suppose, a huge point to Andy Reid. But simultaneously, I will also say this. Fuck you, Sorensen. You're a piece of shit. Seriously, you're a fucking piece of shit. I don't know really what else to say. That fucking head hit was blatant. You should have been called for targeting. And the referee 5 feet in front of you is a piece of shit as well. I hope you two go fuck yourselves and your fat fucking asses. And that's about it. Chiefs are going to be hosting in the AFC Championship against, of course, the Buffalo Bills, who grabbed a 17-3 win against the Baltimore Ravens. And yeah, I had Baltimore fans getting a little upset on the social media accounts. Not just on the YouTube. Honestly, I was kind of taking my personal opinions to Instagram, Facebook, because I like being honest. I like just not hiding my fucking opinions and shit. And yeah, it rubs people the wrong way, sure. But this is what I genuinely felt about the Ravens, that I don't think they were good enough. And despite Lamar doing very well for himself last week, getting that win against the Titans, I mean, really, by his foot, his arms just didn't help him this week. It didn't. Because do you really need to do you really mean to say the R word? Running back. I know. It's the most dreaded word for Ravens fan, but there's an Edgar Allan Poe quote that sums up your efforts the best. Words have no power to impress the mind without the exquisite horror of their reality. Quarterback Lamar Jackson, words have no power to impress the mind without the exquisite horror of their reality. The horror of this reality is that Lamar Jackson is a glorified running back who is labeled as a quarterback. You hate that, don't you? You fucking hate that, don't you? Soak it in, honestly. Because he couldn't win with his arm. And that's what you need to do as a quarterback. It sucks. And it's annoying because people assume because I have this opinion that I hate Lamar Jackson. Far from it. Lamar Jackson is an all-around great talent. I mean, hell, I shit on MVP awards all the time, but hey, the man threw a fucking 1,000 yards and ran for 100 or 1,000. Apologize. 1,100, right? Just about. So, hell, man. I mean, he had a fucking fantastic season last season. And I get it. This is why people in fucking AP, all the fucking journals got all fucking excited. But, dude, he's a decent quarterback. At best. And it kind of proved out today, or yesterday, technically Saturday. Jesus Christ, I'm losing track of days here, but you lose track of days when a quarterback just gets annihilated and, has less highlights than a defensive player who ran for a 101-yard pick six. Shout out to Taron Johnson of the Buffalo Bills, because Jesus Christ, that pick six was probably just a devastating realization for maybe Ravens fans. Again, coming to that quote, words have no power to impress the mind without the exquisite horror of their reality. Embrace that quote. Embrace it. Because guess what? Harbaugh, he loves Lamar. Ownership loves Lamar. You're going to sign him up for a long time. And honestly, he's going to be fantastic, of course. I mean, Lamar's going to be a highlight reel. But in moments like these in the playoffs where it comes down to his arm, will he get it done? Probably not. Probably not. And you could be mad all you want, but apparently tape doesn't lie, right? Shout out to J.K. Dobbins, though, man. This dude is a fantastic piece of weapon for the Ravens. And it was one of those things where I believe he was drafted this season. And I thought, solid running back from a good school program and should be good. Oh, wow, they got him? Fuck. Lucky for them. I mean, kind of unlucky for everybody else, but ultimately, I mean, it didn't amount to anything for the Ravens. All their efforts. It's another playoff loss where Lamar is now 1-3 in the playoffs. Can we recognize that real quick? Lamar Jackson is 1-3. We all talk about fucking postseason records and shit, right, for quarterbacks. Everyone loves to get on about that shit. All Brady, all Rivers, all Rodgers, all Roethlisberger, all Wilson. Lamar Jackson is 1-3. So all of you motherfuckers are gonna get on my shit, get on my salt. Fine, whatever. But the man is 1-3. You always have Ravens fans. You always have a fucking segment of fandom that are going to get in their own headspace, be toxic and salty. I don't care about them. Let them fucking think what they want, because I don't care. My opinions are my opinions, boys and girls. And unless you show me that you are changing, that you can show me that you are different, that you can show me that you've evolved, I'm not really going to change my opinion. But conversely to the Ravens, you have the Buffalo Bills, who I have completely changed my opinion on. Where around this time last year, I called Josh Allen a fucking choker. I said, this dude is a fucking choker. This dude choked the goddamn game away. Now, Bills haters, anti-Bills will say, it's just because of Stephon Diggs. Have you seen their O-line? Have you seen a pretty decent run game? Granted, they were kind of stuffed out this game, but their passing game is pretty stellar. And the Bills, I mean, you guys are fucking cowards for not using Cole Beasley enough. But you can't tell me that Josh Allen is the same guy. I can't hold that same opinion of last year, because he's evolved. Josh Allen has evolved. He's gotten better. Okay? And so have the Bills because of that. And it's kind of awesome to watch. I mean, of course, I know a lot of NFL fan bases or certain fans get annoyed by mannerisms and certain cultural aspects about, a team and the way their tribe operates. All right. So Bills Mafia is a bit wild. They're a wily bunch. I mean, they fucking jump on burning tables in the middle of freezing cold Buffalo. To me, I mean, this is where I say that's some real people. That's some real people. In the freezing fucking cold, you're celebrating sports ball, breaking tables, having a good time. That's what I call real fans. But, I know the haters are going to shit on Buffalo. I know all of them are going to say, oh, they're not good enough. Stephon Diggs is carrying. Josh Allen's is saying, get the fuck out of here, man. Josh Allen's evolved. Stephon Diggs is certainly a fantastic weapon, but he is not the only weapon. That Buffalo Bills defense has elevated themselves to one of the scariest defenses in the league right now. And man, oh man, that AFC Championship game is going to be wonderful. I mean, come on, man. The Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Are you kidding me? That is one of the best matchups you could possibly ask for in the AFC, and we're getting it prime time on Sunday. I can't wait, boys and girls. I cannot fucking wait for that game. But we got to talk about the happenings of the NFC. And yes, these are the more ignorable games for me because, of course, I'm a Seahawks fan. I don't care for the NFC teams. I hope all of you lose. That's my personal salt and vitriol. Yes, I will admit to that, yes. But despite my own level of toxicity, I rather enjoy the AAR people between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints, where the Buccaneers did grab a 30-20 win. And it's a bitter end for Drew Brees, who bows out in a very brutal fashion. 3 interceptions to end the night, 1 touchdown. I mean, Jameis Winston had 1 pass attempt, 1 touchdown, perfect QBR. Just saying. Weird, right? But it's really fucking sad to watch Drew Brees just kind of go out like that. I mean, he's playing at home. Crowd's there. His family's there. And on a year where Drew Brees got so cucked this year, it's not even funny. And I don't know if you motherfuckers remember this shit, but remember when Drew Brees was, standing up for military, and then, all his teammates and all the fucking leftist Black Lives Matter motherfuckers are so ingrained in social justice bullshit, went on into him mob style and said he's wrong for his beliefs. And so Breezy got fucking shit on for his political stances. And, that was the vitriol from the left. But once he cucked himself and apologized and went back on what he stood for, he got shit on by the right. So he was not winning at all this year. And then you put the fucking exclamation point with this loss. Not great. Not great. I mean, this guy, the Walter Payton Man of the Year, stalwart citizen of the city of New Orleans, consummate professional to his craft, to the league. And it's because of his own fucking opinions that doesn't align with mainstream and modern day leftists and all his colleagues that he gets ostracized, he gets alienated by the public. It's annoying. And so when you see Drew Brees leaving into the tunnel, I mean, for me personally, I was heartbroken for the man. I was more angry and more heartbroken than more people, because I understood the context of what's been going on this season for him. And remember, I mean, last year too, prior season too, that Drew Brees was getting shit on because of his Christian beliefs in a country that's supposed to, promote freedom of speech and freedom of religion. We have a bunch of idiots who want to suppress thoughts and want you to align into their own ideologies and cultist thought following, or otherwise you're a danger to their process of control. And Drew Brees fell victim to that. And it's unfortunate. But to me, I'll always remember Drew Brees as a warrior, no matter what he does. If he continues to go on next season, I'd be happy for him. But if he decides to retire, it was a wonderful career. You brought the city of New Orleans to new levels they would have never imagined. And honestly, you're one of the greatest. You're one of the greatest. I don't know if you're the greatest. I don't know if you're in top 5, honestly. I have to look at the numbers personally. But Drew Brees, man, fantastic player. And maybe potentially fantastic career, to call it an end. But heartbreaking. But on the other end, you had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get shit done. Hooray! Tom went to give a high five to the refs. Like, oh, he's acknowledging the black magic shit that he's been working with for 2 goddamn decades. Okay. All right, Tom. Tom. But Tampa Bay, go ahead and get it done. And all the prognosticators saying, oh, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to get to the Super Bowl. I actually did say that too early in the year. So weirdly enough, that could potentially still happen. But they still got another mountain to climb against the Green Bay Packers, who will be hosting that NFC Championship game, boys and girls, stumbling on my words here, like how the Rams stumbled on themselves with that shit-ass offense. Oh my God. LA Rams, 18-32 loss in Lambeau Field. Yeah, Rams, nothing really went your way, did it? Can't really talk shit about the Rams here too much other than, yeah, Jared Goff, he's a 50-50 quarterback. I've been saying that for a while. This guy is going to either win you games or completely lose you games because he's that bang average. Not having Cooper Kupp, I think, really did in the Rams. I would contest that you have Cooper Kupp, you have Woods, you have Higbee there. That's a dangerous, dangerous game. The Packers can't probably overwhelm with on their defense. And I think maybe a healthier O-line, Rams get shit done. But again, Jared Goff being the 50-50 quarterback definitely didn't help. It never helps. But I think another major factor coming into this game was the fact that Father Aaron Donald, so father to us, children in the Seattle Seahawks, Father Donald was injured from last week's game because his children were being petulant little bitches, and the turf kind of fucked him up, generally speaking, right? So with this kind of fucked up rib, Aaron Donald did everything he could to give life to this game for the Rams, but the man can't just do it all himself, right? It is what it is. But yeah, the Rams try to put up an effort, but in the end, they fall short. And I was a guy who was coming around to Jalen Ramsey. I've been trying to be this nicer person, complimenting my rivals and shit like that. But I'm realizing, for a cocksucker like Jalen Ramsey, I shouldn't give him that fucking benefit. I shouldn't even give him that goddamn empathy nor sympathy. You, my son Jalen Ramsey, you fucking arrogant prick who said, oh, I can learn hockey in 6 months, never having touched the ice, never having fucking skated before. You cocksucking hubris-filled bitch. Go fuck yourself. Talking all that shit up after the fucking Seahawks win? Bro. You fucking talking about Cabo? Bitch, go to Cabo with Prez and fucking Quandre now, bitch ass. Jalen is one of the biggest fucking twats in the NFL because he talks too goddamn much. You're the fucking moron that, yeah, you have your skills, certainly, but can you just shut the fuck up? Moron. Man, you let Devontae Adams walk all over you, man. Really? Devontae Adams. Oh, you're shitting on Devontae. Devontae Adams is not a fucking top 5 receiver in the goddamn league. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that shit. It's just ridiculous. I mean, Julio, Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins. That's already 3. That's already 3. Bloody hell, you could put Stephon Diggs in there now. I could argue DK Metcalf. I could definitely argue AJ Brown. Justin Jefferson's already there. Dude, get the fuck out of here. Devontae Adams. Jalen, you trash, man. Just shut your fucking mouth and play ball, bitch ass. And speaking of playing ball, Packers, you have the weather. You have the whole field advantage. You have the weapons on both sides of the field. You have the Rodgers firing on all cylinders. I don't want to hear a single excuse from you motherfuckers this season. I don't want to hear a single fucking excuse from you goddamn cocksuckers this season. If you lose anywhere from this point on, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit. Oh, the O-line. Shut up! You got everything else, don't you? You're going to constantly move this goalpost for yourselves, for Aaron Rodgers, because, legacy is so important. We're better than everybody else. No, dude, you're just a fucking football team. If you lose, you lose. With this fucking personnel, with all the circumstances you got going for yourself, if you lose, I'm going to be stepping on your fucking necks first. You know that. Because the arrogance, man. The more arrogant a fan base is, the harder I want to come down on you and shove reality down your face. That's what I did with the Steelers, and it feels pretty damn good. And hell yeah, I do that with the Seahawks too, bitch. I'm fair all around. So don't get that shit twisted, kids. I can hate on the Packers because their fan bases are sometimes cheese curd ass stuff motherfuckers who can't think for themselves. Not all of them, some of them. And yeah, I mean, you can say that with a lot of fan bases, but listen, motherfucker, I'm just honest. You don't like it? Tough titties. And yeah, I got bad takes. I'm wrong a lot, but hey, is what we're here for. We find out in the realm of sports ball, specifically in the NFL. We make some hypothesis, gather data, experiment, analyze, assess, all this stuff, make out theories. Scientific method, even in sports ball, baby. That's how we do it here. You don't like it? Bye. You could join the cultist idiots with ESPN and Fox Sports and CBS and all those cocksuckers. Line it up. Put your wallets out there. I'm giving this shit for free, bitch. So, fuck out of here. You don't want that shit. Like the energy, don't you? But the energy is going to be that much better for conference championships, baby. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Green Bay Packers. And, of course, you got the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. And I will be putting out a Piggyskin Picks video this weekend because points will move, injuries will happen, and I honestly want to do more numbers research into this matchup for all four teams and strengths, weaknesses, specific number, stats, all the fun stuff of numbers while I tip my hat and talk about hires and fires. Real quick stuff. LA Chargers hire Brandon Staley as their new head coach, former defensive coordinator for the LA Rams, so he's just moving across the hall. Lakers Clippers. Gotcha. Except neither teams are either that good. Rams. Chargers. They're garbage. But that's neither here nor there, boys and girls. The Detroit Lions hire Dan Campbell as their new head coach, former assistant for the New Orleans Saints. Yes, all these new head coach hires are after the respective teams have gotten eliminated. Well, their former place of employment, respective teams got eliminated for the playoffs. But with the Lions, the questions will persist. Will this actually work? Is Stafford gone? Matt Stafford gone? And you okay with the third in the NFC North constantly? Third or fourth? You okay with that? You okay with that? Because you and the Bears are going to probably share that for a long time. So embrace that, Lions, because you lying to yourself if you think you're going to be good for a while. Kind of backhanded salt, but it is what it is, kids. That's how we do in NFL talks. Not a whole lot, but I mean, I do try to be honest as I can, try to be objective. While saying, yes, I do have subjectivity and bias because I'm only human, motherfucker. So that's real shit. But kids, that'll do it for me on this episode. And on the next episode, maybe a cruise peruse, maybe some more sports ball, or maybe talking about how January 20th is going to be the most stupidest fucking thing where dumbasses on both sides are going to do retarded shit. But time will tell. So until next time, fuck off. No, seriously, fuck off.